All right, as we record this, Kyle, you and I are continuing to be in the lockdown for COVID. And man, I'm getting sick of this. And I know a lot of other people are too. And they're thinking to themselves, I'm tired of being locked down. I want to start my own e-commerce company to liberate myself from the craziness of employment situations. So in this special 4-part series, we are going to walk you through the steps involved in starting your own lockdown startup. Kyle, you ready to jump into this?
I'm ready. Let's.
All right.
What are the 4 steps in the lockdown startup series?
So let's do this. We'll give you the 4 steps, and then we'll take a session that we record right now to do the first one, and then we'll break it apart into like a 4-step mini course type thing. So let me give you the model. We're calling it, we just made this up in the last 30 minutes, by the way, but we're calling this our ICAL model, ICAL. And so let me break it down for you. The first thing that you want to do is identify a person with a problem. And so that's what we're going to unpack in today's conversation. But let me give you the other steps in the model. The C is convene those people into a group, put them together, and you convene them and start to really understand who they are and what their needs are. The third step in the model is to ask them what they need, poll them, surveys, all that kind of stuff. We'll dive into that in the third session of our training here. And then the fourth step in the ICAL model is to launch a product. And so this 4-part little series we're going to do this month is really going to give you a lot of deep insight, I think, into how to go about implementing the ICAL model, so that if you're trapped in COVID craziness, wanting to liberate yourself from a 9-to-5, even if you're working from home, you still want to just get away and start your own side hustle, this is the model for you. So you ready to jump into the identify step?
Let's do it.
Okay, so why don't you lead off, man? If somebody was starting a business or had the idea of starting a business, and we're suggesting to them that they need to identify a person with a problem, what would you say are, the short list of tools, or just give us your first suggestion that you would recommend people do?
Yeah, the first tool that I would go to is Ubersuggest. So
Yeah.
Ubersuggest is a great tool. Neil Patel is, really, really popular online marketer and super smart investor. And it's a tool that allows you to look at Google search, because your first mission is to, as you identify the group that you want to serve, the people you want to serve that have a problem, you got to know if it's a big enough group of people that have enough search demand and people looking for answers to that to actually create a business around it. So Ubersuggest will allow you to do that, look at Google search and other search engines as well, tied into it.
I love Ubersuggest. Of course, Neil Patel has a lot of additional trainings and articles and stuff like that kind of go around it, but it's a free tool, which is super awesome. You get a certain number of searches for free every day. So just wait, if you burn out your free searches one day, just circle back, but start to make a list out of what you find on Ubersuggest. And I would just say, identify a person with a problem that you're passionate about. Tap into some space between your personal passion and enthusiasm and your knowledge and expertise. The answer will lie in something that you're excited enough to get up and work on every day, that you also have some domain knowledge about, you have some insight in perspective on. Okay, so I would suggest the tool that people check out is Reddit. Tons and tons and tons of really, really helpful information can be found on Reddit and the subreddit, sections. And so go find the subreddits for your topic, or just begin to explore what's there, what are people asking for, what's popular, all of those types of things. If you've never explored Reddit, it is a world unto itself. My son says that Reddit is the actual internet, and he's just a super fan. And so it's a fantastic tool to really start to understand what people are in dialogue about, what they're asking, answering, people's perspectives. I love that tool. So that'd be mine. What else you got? You got another one?
I do have another tool. I also have another way for you to organize some ideas around what to be searching for. Sure. One technique is to go think about the last year and write down all of the things that you had pain points with. Maybe it was how to help with the pet, or you had an issue with a pet, or you had a home garden issue that you're like, I wish I could, this plant keeps on dying, and I wish there was a way, like, just start making notes of all these little pain points that you can remember and think about. And now you're starting to identify, because guess what? The odds are really high that someone else on the internet is also experiencing that. And that gives you some frameworks to start thinking around and using these tools to do.
Absolutely.
But my next tool is a good one. I like it a lot. It's called Answer the Public.
Oh,
and basically Answer the Public lets you put in a keyword, and then it scrapes Google. Google have different auto suggests in their search bar, and it lists all the questions that people ask about a particular keyword phrase.
Oh.
And it will also kind of show you the strength of that search, like the amount of searches that are for that as well.
Okay.
So it's a cool little way to sort of dig in deeper to a topic, to what questions are actually happening on the internet. It's a cool tool.
And it presents it in a really nice visual graphic way too.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. Okay, another one is similar to Reddit would be Quora. Quora is one that you can go tons and tons and tons of questions that are asked and answers. A great way to really drill into finding out about topics that you're not fully aware of all of the nuance and detail. Check out Quora. It's a great platform. Okay, so that is whatever it was, 5 ideas, something like that. 4 ideas. What about books or other resources that you could suggest?
Absolutely.
Or if there's more, what else you got?
I got one more important one that we should cover. If you're looking for groups, content, what's out there, there's always Facebook. There are Facebook groups, and you can just type in the search on Facebook. You can choose groups to search for, to filter down your search, and just see what Facebook groups exist on the internet right now, like what's out there.
Yeah.
Well, another sort of tip in this process is you may identify a particular group, but you should think about how to extend that, or how that group is not currently served to its fullest potential.
Yeah.
And I think that allows you to find your angle with it. I had a conversation with a recent person in our community, and they were looking at a particular niche, and they're like, there's a particular like hardcore version of it, but there's no like practical, like reasoned group of people that are talking about how to like solve this problem. She's like, I want to build a business that is like coming from a practical, reasoned approach instead of like the extreme it's all or nothing approach that people are having. And so look for nuance, look for ways that you can extend that. So
if you look for a person with a problem, you identify a person with a problem, of course you'll realize there's a lot of different characters in there.
Right.
There's people who approach the problem differently, right, with levels of intensity, perspective, educational level, socioeconomic, on, and you want to start to really identify who you could serve, of course. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of book resources that would be good for identifying a person with a problem and how to serve them. I'll mention one first, and that is Chris Anderson's old book, The Long Tail. Not a new book these days, but it is, it's probably 10 years old or something like that. It's a fantastic book, though, to really help you understand the orders of magnitude available to us as we think about how to build a business online. I would just say that most people start a business that's too broad. Yeah. And so you want to find the long tail is in reference to the phrase related to search volume, where you've got the head of a search that's got massive volume, the fat head that's out there that's just got huge volumes, hundreds of thousands or millions of searches. But then as you go down the search query terms in terms of volumes, you'll see these searches that have just a very, very relatively small volume. But when you zoom in, you find whole populations of people. You find there's tons of people there who are interested. And in these niches, these weird, not mainstream topics or approaches to things and products and topics and that kind of thing. And you want to start to look there, and The Long Tail is a great book that helps you understand how to do that kind of research. Yeah. You have another book suggestion?
Yeah, a book that I like is a book by Ryan Levesque. It's called Choose. And basically it is the process in which you identify opportunity and groups and business models and potential on the internet, and how do you rate it? How do you go about it? So it's a great book.
Ryan Levesque. Levesque? I don't even know. His first book was Ask, right? Or one of his books was Ask. and then choose. So choose is a good one for this. All right, so that is, in summation, the first step in your lockdown startup. And
Yep.
if you'll just start to make an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet and really think through, who do you know, or what people in your life, maybe you're in the group yourself, have a problem that you think you might have an enthusiastic interest in solving. And you don't have to have the solution yet. Don't worry about
Right.
that. That's step 4. So
Yeah.
we're only on step 1 right now, which is
Identify.
identify people with a problem, and they have a felt need, and you're passionate about the potential of working through solutions for those people. So that's the first step in our model. In the next video, we're going to come back and talk about the second step. So hang in there with us. We'll have this entire 4-step sequence out in this month, August 2020. But if you're watching this much, much later, then hopefully you get a ton of value out of it. And hopefully we're not in COVID lockdown anymore. But I think the principles will apply regardless. So thanks for listening. If you like this stuff, then you should certainly check out our Winning on Shopify website. Our blog posts are there, and they go way back. Now we've gotten years of blog posts there. And we've also got links to our other courses and products, membership group, coaching, all of that kind of thing on winningонshopify.com. So thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the next video.